So now we are going to see the important concept of our first unit, that is discrete Fourier transform. Okay, so before going to detail of discrete Fourier transform, I wanted to introduce you about complete Fourier transforms, and you already know about Fourier transforms in before. So I just want to recall the things of analog Fourier transform, and then how we are going to obtain the discrete Fourier transform from analog Fourier transform, and then we'll move to properties of our DFT. Okay, so first we are going to analog Fourier transform. This is not in your syllabus, but I am covering here because just to get clarity about DFT. Okay, so how to represent, what to represent, where to represent, these are all in our first video, basics of digital signal processing. If you have any doubt in this tutorial, go to that one, because somewhere will represent capital, somewhere will represent small letters like that. So for all the details, go to that first video, basics of your digital signal processing, and then proceed with the next videos. Okay, so we are seeing analog Fourier transform. Okay, so generally Fourier transform is defined as a mathematical transform that decomposes a little function into its constituent frequencies. Okay, that means we are decomposing the time into constituent frequencies. That means we are changing the transformation from time domain to frequency domain, that is with the help of mathematics, that is called as Fourier transform. Okay, the term Fourier transform refers to both the frequency domain representation and mathematical operation that associates the frequency domain representation to a function of time. That is what we have discussed now. It is just a transformation from time domain to frequency domain with the help of or else in association with mathematical operations. Okay, so we know the formula for Fourier transform. In analog Fourier transform, we know that f of omega is equal to integral t is equal to minus infinity to infinity f of t into e power minus j omega t. Okay, we know this formula before. From Fourier series we have obtained Fourier transformation. Okay, f of omega is equal to integral t equal to minus infinite to infinite f of t into e power minus j omega t. This is the formula for analog Fourier transform. Okay, so next, f of t should be represented in small letters, whereas f of omega should be represented in capital letters. This we know. Okay, because all time domain things are represented in small letters, frequency domain things are represented in capital letters, just to differ. Okay, if I represent small f of omega here, means it will treat it as a time domain function only. Okay, because of that variable we have to show some distinction between time domain and frequency domain. That's why we use small letters for time domain and capital letters for frequency domain. Both in analog and discrete also we are going to use like this only, small representation for time domain and capital representation for frequency domain. So in this we will be able to find out f of capital F of omega, which is frequency domain representation of Fourier transform. So next, inverse Fourier transform. Inverse Fourier transform is nothing but finding out our f of t value. Okay, so how f of t will come? F of t is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral omega equal to minus infinite to infinite f of omega into e power j omega t. Okay, here over a period of time, complete cycle, 1 by 2 pi it will come, and the limits are same for minus infinite to infinite. Here the variable is omega. This is f of omega into e power j omega t. The sign of this function will get changed. Okay, e power minus j omega t in this Fourier transform and e power j omega t in inverse Fourier transform. Okay, like this. In the same way, the discrete Fourier transform will be going to be there. So this is the graphical representation of Fourier transform. If you see, this is a rectangular pulse. Okay, for this rectangular pulse, this is in time domain. Okay, this is f of t. Suppose this is f of t. This will be capital F of omega. Okay, the Fourier transform of the rectangular pulse will be like this. This waveform is nothing but sinc waveform. Capital F of omega is equal to sin omega by omega. Okay, this is the example for Fourier transform. If a rectangular pulse is there in time domain, then it will be having in frequency domain, it can be viewed as sinc pulse. Okay, like this. For different signals, different Fourier transforms will be there. Next, discrete Fourier transform. So how we are going to obtain our discrete Fourier transform? Actually, by 100% we are going to obtain this discrete Fourier transform by means of sampling only. Okay, so another way of obtaining discrete Fourier transform from analog transform will be like this. See, what we have to do is time has to be made discrete, to form DFT by replacing integral with sigma and small t with small n. Okay, that means in analog Fourier transform equation, we have to replace this integral minus infinite to infinite should be summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and then t with n. Here integral t will be there, here summation n will be there. Then we will get discrete Fourier transform DFT. The equation is capital F of omega is equal to summation n is equal to t is replaced with n, summation integral is replaced with this summation n equal to minus infinite to infinite f of n into e power minus j omega n. Okay, generally this is the formula for discrete Fourier transform. So in the same way, if you want to get for inverse discrete Fourier transform means, similarly IDFT can be written as f of n. There we found out f of t. So here small f of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi, same one, summation omega equal to minus infinite to infinite f of omega into e power j omega n. Okay, plus j omega n. Nothing has got changed, but only two changes here from analog to discrete domain. What are they? Integral was replaced by the sigma value and this t is replaced with n value. Okay, this is the IDFT formula. So now discrete time Fourier transform we are dealing with DTFT. Don't confuse. Generally discrete Fourier transform or discrete time Fourier transform are same. Okay, but in all problematic thing or else in practical approach we take only for restricted length. That means here in all formulas it is minus infinite to infinite is there. That is going to replaced with a finite interval. Okay, else apart all are same. Discrete time Fourier transform or discrete Fourier transform both are same. Now discrete time Fourier transform can be obtained by restricting the length of signal to some particular length, say n. That means our range is from minus infinite to infinite. In that minus infinite to infinite, to find out inverse DFT or inverse Fourier transform, we are taking a particular time period of 2 pi. Okay, so here what we are going to do, restricting that minus infinite to a length of n. That means if the sample starts from 0, the length will be 0 to n minus 1. Total number of samples will be capital N only. Okay. If the length is, if the sample start from 1, then we have to write sigma k is equal to 1 to n, or else sigma n equal to 1 to n. Generally in discrete domain we start our sample with 0th sample. So the formula will change according to that. Therefore the limits shift from minus infinite to 0 to n minus 1. Okay. Therefore DTFT can be obtained by restricting the length. Indirectly we are defining our omega value for a specific length. Okay. So omega is equal to 2 pi k by n. Hence this has changed. Okay, omega is equal to 2 pi k by n. So by substituting both the things, x of k is equal to, there we will get x of omega, but directly we got x of k here. X of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus, from instead of minus infinite to infinite, the limits were changed from 0 to n minus 1, x of n into e power minus j 2 pi k n by capital N. Okay. E power minus j omega n is there, but omega is replaced by 2 pi k by n. Okay, that is why the formula of DFT is this one. X of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n into e power minus j 2 pi k n by capital N. This is the formula for DFT. Similarly, the formula for IDFT will be x of n is equal to, in general we had 1 by 2 pi, but here now it is 1 by n, capital N. 1 by n, because we have restricted it to some length interval, that is why in that interval only we are going to check. 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of k into e power j 2 pi n k by n. These are the formulas for DFTs and IDFTs. Okay. So in this way we will obtain our DFT equation from analog Fourier transform. So without knowing it analog Fourier transform, or without having any basics of analog Fourier transform, we won't be able to find out the discrete Fourier transform. Okay. So next, with the help of twiddle factors we can represent like this. Okay, W is equal to 2 pi k by n, W is equal to e power minus j 2 pi by capital N, omega n power n k, omega n power minus n k. These two formulas are mainly used in our unit 2. Okay. So now step by step we will see what in detail of discrete Fourier transform from definition. Till now we have seen how we have obtained this discrete Fourier transform. What is the base of discrete Fourier transform? We have Fourier series. From that analog Fourier series we have Fourier transforms. Okay, conversion of time domain to frequency domain in analog domain. So like that in discrete domain, how we are going to shift, that's what we have seen till now. That means till now DFT is obtained. How we have obtained? By taking analog Fourier transform. In that analog Fourier transform we have made some changes and then restricted it to some finite length. Then finally we have obtained this one. So now we are going to see what is exactly DFT is, what is the purpose of DFT. Okay, the equation is not going to change. See, the discrete Fourier transform is a powerful computation tool which allows to evaluate Fourier transform on a digital computer or designed hardware. So what is the purpose of discrete Fourier transform means? It is it is a powerful computation tool, okay, like C, C++, like that. It is a tool which allows to evaluate the Fourier transform x of e power j omega or else x of omega on a digital computer or a hardware device. So how DFT is obtained? Basically DFT is obtained by sampling one period of Fourier transform at a finite number of frequency points. That's what we have done, okay. By the Fourier transform, it is extended from minus infinite to infinite. From that minus infinite to infinite region, we have selected one period, okay. We have selected one period 0 to n minus 1 at a finite number of frequency points. In that way we obtain DFT. DFT plays an important role in implementation of many signal processing algorithms. DFT, it is very important in all signal processing algorithms, and DFT is having many applications like linear filterings and then linear filtering for long sequences, like that. It is having many applications in signal processings. DFT is used to perform linear filtering operations in the frequency domain. Okay, so next, discrete Fourier series. Consider a sequence xp of n with a period of n samples so that it is periodic. Xp of n is equal to xp of n plus in. Since xp of n is periodic, it can be represented as a weighted sum of complex exponential whose frequency are integral multiples of fundamental frequency 2 pi by n, okay. That is what Twiddle factor is. So like this, it is a periodic complex components we are substituting. So now any periodic sequence can be expressed as xp of n is equal to 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 xp of k into e power j 2 pi kn by n. Okay, this is the discrete Fourier series representation, okay, or else this is nothing but our inverse discrete Fourier transform. Okay. So like that, xp of k we will write as xp of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 xp of n into e power minus j 2 pi kn by capital N. So these are the graphs of our discrete Fourier transform. This is angular plot, magnitude plot of discrete Fourier transform, and this is angular part of discrete Fourier transform, okay. This is for less number of samples and this is for more number of samples, both are same. Okay, this is magnitude plot of x of k and this is angular part of x of k. So these are the properties of discrete Fourier transform. Discrete Fourier transform will be having many properties. Among those, these are very few ones. Okay, in those we are discussing about periodicity and linearity. Rest all will be there in your handout. So periodicity property. In time domain, it is x of n is equal to x of n plus n. In frequency domain, it is x of k is equal to capital X of k plus n. Remember, small x or small f that is used in analog domain, whereas if it is frequency domain, you have to use capital X and capital K. Okay. So this is the linearity property, nothing but homogeneous expression. This is time reversal, that means time shifting. This is circular time shift, circular frequency shift, circular convolution, circular correlation. Convolution, correlation, those we have covered in previous topics. Multiplication of sequences, and correlation is not in our syllabus, only convolution is there, but correlation I have given definition and very few examples. Complex conjugate property, Parseval's theorem, these are all our DFT. if you have Fourier transform in your previous subjects, if you have worked out on those problems, everything is same. Okay, same that we will do in analog, we will do with integrals, in digital we will do with summations. So now let us see about periodicity property. Okay, so let x of n and x of k be the DFT pair. This is the statement of periodicity. If x of n plus capital N is equal to x of n, then capital X of k plus capital N is equal to x of k. Okay. For every property, we have to write initially the definition of DFT. Capital X of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n into omega n power kn. Now let us replace k by k plus n. Then above equation becomes, in this above equation, see here I am taking type 2 equations, twiddle factor omega n power kn we are taking. Okay, x of k plus n, k is replaced everywhere by k plus n. Okay, so summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n omega n power kn into omega n power n into n. So omega n, we know omega suffix n is equal to e power minus j 2 pi by n. Okay, let me take this one by n. Okay, and then omega n power nn is equal to e power minus j 2 pi n by n 2 pi n into n by n. These n and this n will get cancelled, e power minus j 2 pi n. See, we know that e power minus j 2 pi n value is always 1. Okay, because cos 2 pi n minus j sin 2 pi n, this is always 1. This is because for all values of n, cos 2 pi n is equal to 1 and sin 2 pi n is equal to 0. So if you substitute 1 here, this will become summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n into omega n power kn, which is nothing but our x of k value. Okay, same equation will come there. The same equation will come here. So that's why it exhibits periodic property. Okay. So like that, in a similar way, let us see about linearity property of DFT. If x1 of n is equal to x1, the DFT of x1 of n is x1 of k and the DFT of x2 of n is x2 of k, then a1 into x1 of n plus a2 into x2 of n is a1 into x1 of k plus a2 into x2 of k. This is the linearity property where a1 and a2 are constants. This is nothing but principle of superposition or principle of homogeneity. Okay. So proof, we have to prove this one. So first in proof, in any proof, we have to write the equation of DFT. X of k equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n into omega n power kn. That x of n is equal to this one, that means the LHS that they have given. So substitute in the formula, above formula, in this formula x of n, substitute and expand it. If you expand it, a1 into x1 of n plus and so on, next a2 into x2 of n omega n power kn, like this. We know that a1 and a2 are constants. We will just write them out of summation. Then this will be the formula of x1 of k and this will be the formula of x2 of k. Okay. So finally we got RHS, a1 into x1 of k plus a2 into x2 of k. These are the properties of our discrete Fourier transform. These are the only two properties. We have many properties of discrete Fourier transform. Okay.